when you're working with people, do you analyze their personalities in any way? The story that sort of came to mind was we were finishing a university course. Now,
Yeah.
I went to university at the age of 38.
Right.
So like literally 20 years later, so
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of turned into 18 with 20 years of life experience, which
Yeah.
is brilliant from my point of view.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple of youngsters who
Yeah.
came there at sort of 18, 19, and then
Yeah.
a few in their mid-20s, in my course anyway.
Yeah.
At the end of the 3 years, we were sort of comparing stress levels of the whole course by
Right.
how much we cried.
Right.
Now, I'm a very emotional person,
Okay.
and I cried all the way through.
Right.
Very, very emotional.
Right.
And there was one girl who never once shed a single tear.
Yeah,
She
right.
just went through the whole lot. I mean, there were stressful times, but
Yeah.
it didn't manifest itself in tears.
Yeah.
So is that something, an indication of a personality type?
Because she didn't cry because she wasn't stressed or overwhelmed, or
I think I'm trying to remember, but I mean, that was nearly 6 years ago that I graduated. But I think she just sort of partially took it in her stride.
Yeah.
She just didn't fret about it. She
Yeah,
did
yeah.
the work that had to be done.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously, she must have faced some stressful bits where she may have struggled a little bit of how to deal with project work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this is the conversation I just remember from the very end.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I never cried,
Yeah, right.
said her.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, yeah, I cried through the whole lot.
I cried this morning in that weather.
So how does the personality type come into stress management?
I think it's so personal, isn't it? It's not just one size fits all. And when you, it's important to remember that when you feel those feelings of stress, it's down to your belief about the stressor, right? The thing that's causing it. It's important to define stressor and stress, and in
Right.
between those two pieces is your belief about it.
Can you give us some examples? Go with your
so-
children. So what was the stressor
What-
in the morning for you?
Do you mind if I use a different example? We'll get
Yeah,
back
go-
to the kids one, and because I'd like to get into that a bit more.
Okay.
But for example, an engine light on your car dashboard comes up.
Right.
Personally, so that's a stressor.
Right. Okay.
that
Because
thing,
it
that's a-
sends off the alarm
Yes,
system.
but how you interpret that, I don't know anything about vehicles or mechanic stuff, and I
Okay.
need my vehicles to get around and all that stuff. So that belief about it is the missing link between the stress that I then feel. If you're someone that has a mate who's a mechanic, he can book you straight in, or you know what to do, or you know this and that about your belief about the stressor means that you don't have a stress response.
Okay. I'm trying to interpret what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
It's really interesting.
So it's all about that belief is all about your capacity. Do you have the capacity to deal with the stressor or not? And if you do have the capacity to deal with the stressor, the stressful feelings become challenge, which is a positive thing, rather than threat, which is a negative thing. If there's a sports example coming up and there's a big tournament, and the tournament is the stressor, but your belief about that stressor is that you've trained well, you've slept well, you've eaten well, you feel confident going into it, it's still going to be a challenge because you've
well, of course, it's a tournament.
it's a tournament, and it's going to take your
clues in the name.
yeah, and it's going to take
I
your
was going to say,
focus.
can we
and-
try and come up with business examples?
yeah, right.
Anything. I mean, okay, from my point of view, so I'm training to be a speaker, a public speaker.
Yeah, right.
Now, funny enough, I actually say that I don't really have that. Like people, literally, I've watched a guy who is like really confident and, a bit of a lad
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah,
He's
right.
a solicitor, a partner in a solicitor's
Right.
firm. He comes along to my networking event and he's all that, but he's also a sponsor.
Yeah,
So we had our anniversary event and I literally shoved the microphone in his hand.
yeah,
and
right.
He went white in the face. Now, bearing in mind, he's a black guy. He went white in the
Right.
face
Right.
just by the sheer thought that he's going to have to hold the microphone and talk.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, what are you on
That doesn't
about?
make
So
sense.
yes, to him, that microphone was
Yes.
a huge stressor, even though
Yeah,
he
yeah.
then started talking and he was absolutely fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But like in other business situations, it could be literally anything, like talking to a client,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
getting that first sale,
Yeah, yeah.
launching something new.
Yeah. You might know
So
your
then-
stuff really well, but then it doesn't translate because your belief and your experience and stuff about how your experience of public speaking from the past. Cognitive behavioral therapy calls it the ABC thing. The actuating event is the stressor. The B
Okay.
is the belief that you have
Belief,
around
yeah.
it. And then the C is the consequence, so how you feel and how you act based on your belief.
So what can
yeah.
be controlled in this system?
It's really hard to pull yourself out of a stressful moment, isn't it? if you're stressed, it's really hard to pull yourself out. And if we could have pulled ourselves out of cavemen of being stressed and overwhelmed, we'd probably been eaten by the saber-toothed tiger. Stress is there to, like I said, to make you act and survive and all that stuff. Yeah. But if there's a moment to analyse what it is causing it, quite often it comes down to, is it critique? Is it social critique? Is it unknown, fear of the unknown?
Inner critique, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it a novel, new experience? Or is there threat there to your reputation, your finances, your family? Is it physical threat? So it comes down to those sort of, it's a bit of an acronym, CUNT. So
it isn't, is it?
I don't know. Yeah. So and it's and if you can like maybe break away the layers and see, is this thing that's causing me stress because I'm going to be critiqued by my wife or my colleagues or my friends? That's really important, isn't it? Is social, how you fit into the social dynamic, into the tribe. Is it that it's an unknown experience? The fear of the unknown is obviously massive. I don't know how I'm going to react.
And I think that literally paralyzes way too many people from, preventing them doing all sorts of good things.
Yeah.
The fear of the unknown. I mean, I think we all experience it literally every single day.
Yeah.
How can you train people to manage this kind of stress response?
Firstly, it's about you're upholding beliefs. So if there's a table and this fear is on the top of it, it's held up by the four legs, right? And you've got to look at, what are my beliefs about this that's holding it up? Is it past experience, or is it? It could be a number of things based on what's happening.